Now, it's hard not to notice, especially when you follow politics for a living, that certain people live in what we like to call an alternate reality. I believe Jon Stewart called it Bullshit Mountain. Now, nothing is more evident than than the example that I'm going to show you of this now. Now, recently, there was a rally for Ted Cruz in Mechanicsville, Virginia. And C-SPAN, of course, had covered it since it is a presidential campaign, it's a presidential rally. They cover stuff like this. And while they were there, one of the reporters had asked a woman why she was there to vote for Ted Cruz. Now, I want you guys to listen to this answer. This is great. Watch.
Like Obama, no more. He's ruined our country. He's ruined Christmas. He's let the Muslims in. We can't say that word. We've got to be ashamed of everything. And we're not ashamed people. We're proud people. And we're going to take our country back. So watch out, Obama. We're coming.
How has he ruined Christmas? How has he ruined America?
He scared the little children. They're not allowed to have Santa Claus in the schools where, it might offend the Muslims.
He's ruined America, and he's ruined Christmas. Now, I like how that report is like, how did he ruin Christmas? Because he scared the little children. No, ma'am, I believe you're scaring the little children. If I saw that and I was a little kid, I'd be like, oh my God, she's crazy. Get me away from that crazy woman. He scared the little children. You know why? Because they're not allowed to have Santa Claus. And that's why they're scared. Obama has killed Santa Claus. What's going on here with this woman? I have no idea, but hey, let's look at the bigger picture. Guys, he's ruined Christmas. Obama's ruined Christmas. That's why she's going to vote for Ted Cruz. Okay. Look, if anything shows you the level of delusion that some of these people live in, it's this. She thinks we banned Santa from schools. What the hell does Santa have to do with Jesus? I mean, you ask any evangelical Christian, and they're going to tell you, well, Jesus is the reason for the season. Now, we know that's factually incorrect. Jesus was he's like born somewhere in the spring or something. It certainly wasn't born December 25th. He shares that holiday with a lot of different deities. So, it doesn't have really anything to do with December 25th either. But nonetheless, she wouldn't know that. She thinks Santa has something to do with Jesus and Christmas. Well, that's of course because our capitalist system loves the idea of Santa Claus. And stores make lots and lots of money off that. But anyway, Santa doesn't really have anything to do with the original so-called reason for the season. Look, I know. You're probably thinking, Jeff, why are you sitting here trying to analyze crazy? You can't analyze crazy. All right, you're right. You'd be right. But there is a little bit more of a serious undertone here. And despite the fact that this is kind of this is a goofy story, right? This is a goofy woman. I don't really take her all that seriously. She's a little out there. Maybe she's a little bit more than a little out there, but okay. Maybe at the very least, she's incredibly misinformed. I get it, right? But the serious thing here is that, well, she reflects what a lot of people are thinking when it comes to the Muslims. Obama is bringing in all the Muslims, and that's a bad thing. Well, no, he wants to bring in 10,000 Syrian refugees, both Christian and Muslim. There's nothing keeping Christian refugees out of the country either. We're taking all of them. We're taking 10,000 refugees. And now her idea that us doing that is somehow ruining the country. Well, that's factually incorrect. It's a very small amount of people. And look, these are desperate people trying to run from the radical Islam that we all dislike. The radical Islamic terrorism. They want to get away from that too. And so they're coming here. And somehow she and Ted Cruz and their supporters see that as a terrible thing. They see that as the jihadists moving in next door. Well, that's sort of the serious undertone here because, once again, that's factually incorrect. No, not all people who come from Syria are jihadis. that want to destroy America. That's ridiculous. And, there's a serious point here. Now, the other stuff, he's banned Santa Claus from school. That's ridiculous. Santa Claus isn't even a religious figure. It's like I said, there's a lot of kooky in here, but there is also a lot of serious. And to that I say, look, lady, America is not ruined. America's not ruined. We're actually doing pretty good. Don't get me wrong. We've got issues, right? We do have a lot of issues. I mean, if you listen to Bernie Sanders, he lays them all out pretty well. The middle class is shrinking. Corporations are getting rich off everybody else, et cetera, income inequality, roads and bridges funded. We got issues. We got issues. But even with those issues, you can't really argue against the fact that in many cases, in many ways, we're actually a lot better off than we were at least 8 years ago, when we were in the middle of the largest financial crisis since the Great Depression. But then again, hey, what do you expect when you talk to people who seem to live in this alternate universe I referenced earlier? That alternate universe that just happens to be void of facts, logic, and reason. This is what you get when you look into that world.